this is the development site. This is what you'll see on Street View at TR185NT, and these are some of the services provided by the local council, waste services. They also supply us, well, not the council, but we're supplied with water and not drainage and electricity, which we'll talk about in a minute. We'll just go down the drive to the development site now. This was installed about 1997 in order to substantiate the planning permission under which the house that you're about to see was built. But we only built it last year, which was 2013 really. It was just a wreck before then. Just making a point here that we've got some African visitors, the swallows, but it's August the 19th, they're about to go home. Most of them have gone home already. It's amazing they come here just for a few minutes to have babies and do lots of insects. There doesn't seem to be that many insects around. The house straight ahead of us, not the one on the right, and a black Land Rover. They've just had their electrical cables put in underground. Previously they had a post behind the Land Rover and they didn't like the electrical cables coming across their site. If we look up here, you can see where the electricity comes into the site, across the field. If you move the camera this way maybe, there's a box on that pole, and that's a 415 volt transformer, and then there are 3 cables going off into the fields and down into Newland. It's odd really that the electricity supply shouldn't come from the road, which is supposed to be over there, over the fields. Anyway, this is our site starting. This is a new opening in that Cornish hedge there. There's a Cornish hedge on both sides of that farm track. Now there's an access to the end of our site through what we call the farmyard, but we've now entered Farm Zero, so we're still using petrol, I'm afraid. So the trees just planted here is Corsican pine, which of course is not indigenous, or black pine. The ones over there are Monterey pines, which are a Californian species. Scots pine doesn't do very well here, the wind gets it too much. We're going past a bank that's original, it's covered in gorse, which is what we were planted with, which is an indigenous plant. This is willow. This new bank on the right is the boundary between us and our neighbour. And this big barn, which is timber framed but asbestos roof, needs to come down as part of the planning permission. And I'd quite like to put the first powerhouse here, 8 metres wide, 12 metres in that direction, facing south. That's due south over there. But for the moment we'll just carry on the axis. We're going to go past Adam, who's making a stab up very soon. He's a servant, we'll build his own. So our incoming electricity is there, and that actually comes from buildings over to the east. We're going to walk through the courtyard. Everything's made of granite. This is the standard construction of a granite wall here. It's 20 inches or 500 millimeters thick, and although it's made out of apparently rough stones, if you look along the edge you can see it's incredibly flat and well made. What you see here is a granite wall that's being repointed, actually in a sand that comes from Kent, not a local sand, and lime. There's no cement in it. And up there is a scantle roof, which is pointed, or rather laid, in lime and the same sand. And you can see they're very small slates And when they're not laid on a roof, they look like this. They're probably third, fourth, fifth hand. Probably most of them were much bigger at one time, and they've been cut down, but they've been reshaped. And we're now going to walk through the courtyards, past a row of pigsties as was. They're now got different functions, like one's a lavatory, one's a storeroom, and one's a garden room. Through what I call the impluvium, which is a bit of a joke, with its dragon's teeth. But it could be filled up with water, but Mrs. Godolphin doesn't like it filled up with water. And then past the wood store, and the wood is from two very large trees that we cut down over there because they were falling down on our building. Stumps just around the corner there. This is the lawn. That's the boundary with next door. That's an old Cornish hedge, partly rebuilt but with a new hole through it. So if we go this way, we'll look at the site of the second powerhouse. Paddock, if you like, and the third one, the one that would be closest probably to this house, would sit about there. And the upper floor, if it had a balcony facing east, sort of go off onto that bund wall here. You know, that would be the level of it, and it would have to be cut into the ground a certain amount here. The fall, there's not a very great fall across this part of the site, but there's a bigger fall across the site as we go the other side of the park. Go outside this sort of U-shaped paddock into the main field. So this is really the end of the floor. That's the house that was owned by, or built by Stanhope Forbes, who was a famous Victorian painter, and his wife Elizabeth. There'd be three powerhouses here, probably starting at the back, moving to the front, and the access track would be where we're standing along the edge of this wall. And that's about it, really. I suppose one more shot from the top of the hill, you can see the sea. You can see a tanker in the English Channel, really. Beyond it is the Lizard, which is the most southerly point of the United Kingdom, I think, well, apart from the Channel Isles. So the Lizard is stretching there. On the left, which is obscured by buildings, is Mounts Bay and Penzance and Newlyn. On the right, you can see the transformer, and behind it, from where you are, you may be able to see the tower of Paul Church, which, strangely enough, was desecrated by the Spaniards in about, let's get it right, 1560, something like that. After the Armada, they had a bit of an idea that they could come back and do something nasty, so they burned out the town there.